All right, so today's assignment, like I said, 420, number 2, the structure of DNA. And obviously it's due today because it's today's assignment. So when you go into your classwork and you open this up, you should get to a Google slide. All right. And I'm just going to kind of walk through and show you exactly what is expected on each slide so that there are no questions later on. Or if there are questions, this will help sort of guide you through what it is that you need to do. All right, so let me go to the presenting. Oh, no, don't want to do that because then I won't be able to type on them. Come on. There we go. Okay, so the first thing that I like to do when I get into these assignments is I like to do a quick little zoom in. If you don't know, the zoom button is right here under the word insert. I like to make it a little bit larger because that just makes it easier for me to work with. So I'm going to go to, I always like using the button that says fit, but obviously make it to the size that works best for you. So slide number 1 is just a title slide, nothing for you to do there. This is slide number 2. Slide number 2 is looking at the structure of DNA. Where is DNA found? It says DNA is found inside every living cell. Label this diagram to show exactly where. So this is a cell. So this dark area in the center of the cell has a name. Click and label. These things, there is a number, and then there's a number of them, and then they are called something. You're going to label that. This one individual thing has a name, and then this molecule right here has a name. So you're going to click, and then you are going to type. And then this little kind of band right here, that also has a name. Underneath, you are going to make this diagram into a single sentence. So you would say DNA is found in the blank of the cell in, 46 blank, et cetera, and so forth. So you are basically going to turn this diagram into a single sentence, and that's what goes down here in this blue area. Slide number 3. This is a drag and drop, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to make these 3 paragraphs make sense using our word bank. So I'm going to get through the first sentence. It says DNA stands for blank acid. Well, I know it stands for deoxyribose nucleic acid. So I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to drag it over here. Drag and drop. Oops. Probably want to put that a little bit higher, but that's okay. It contains the blank code for every living blank. Well, DNA contains the genetic code for every living organism. And you are going to continue through slide 3 in this fashion, where you're going to drag and drop the words that make the sentences make sense. Slide number 4, again, it is a click and type. So this is the structure of DNA. We are looking at a single DNA nucleotide. There are 4 things that need to be labeled here. This circle piece, this pentagon piece, and then this kind of flag piece. You will be able to find this information in the notes from yesterday. That would be under 419, number 2. In the instructions, there is a link. And then, of course, these 3 pieces together, what do we call them? All right, taking a look at slide number 5, we are now looking at nitrogen bases. So it says there are 4 nitrogen base pairs found in DNA pictured below. Each of these pairs only with one other base. We call them complementary base pairs. Drag and drop the right bases into position to show which bases pair together. So I could grab cytosine, and I think it goes with adenine. Well, if I drag it over here, these 2 pieces do not go together. There's still that gap. So cytosine obviously cannot go with adenine. That is what you are going to be doing here. On the bottom, you have A, T, G, and C. Those are text boxes. It wants you to come up with a silly phrase to remember the base pairings. And the example given is all tigers growl constantly. Obviously, make whatever sentence you want to, keeping in mind it is school appropriate. Number 6, this kind of is kind of what we did for the do now today. It says structure of DNA, purines, and pyrimidines. The first question says, using the diagram below, which do you think is larger, a purine or a pyrimidine? You are going to grab your red circle and you are going to circle either purine or pyrimidine, depending on what the answer is. Once you've done that, it says using your answer from the question above, decide which group of nitrogen bases belongs to each, and then drag below the category. So this is again like and you will have 2 purines and you will have 2 pyrimidines, and you will just grab and drop under the structure. So adenine, for example, if I thought it was a purine, I would put it here. If I thought it was a pyrimidine, I would put it over here. So it really just kind of depends on what you think it is. And if you don't know, check the notes from yesterday. Slide 7. Again, structure of DNA, the double helix. We have 4 drag and drop boxes, sugar phosphate backbone, 1 nucleotide, hydrogen bond, covalent bond. You are going to drag and drop these text boxes to where they belong in this diagram. Slide number 8. We have 4 scientists, 4 descriptions of their work, and 4 pictures. You are going to tell me what the scientists did and which picture approximates their work the most. So, for example, Levine, he was the one that discovered that DNA nucleotides were arranged in repeating units. So you would pick up this one, drag it over here to Levine. And then this one with the nucleotides is closest to his work. So that is what that would look like by the end. Slide number 9. These are click and type. It's asking you questions regarding Chargaff's rules. Slide number 10. We are looking at again, using Chargaff's rules. I have given you 4 strands of DNA. Each has a different percentage of adenine in it. And with that information that I have given you, I need you to fill in the gaps. How much thymine, how much guanine, and how much cytosine for each strand of DNA that is here. Please keep in mind, it always has to add up to 100%, like all percentages do. My last and final slide in this assignment is probably my favorite. We have a student answer, which is wrong. So you need to literally, there are, I want to say 4 sentences. What you are going to do is you are going to take each sentence separately. You are going to copy and you are going to paste it down here and you are going to fix it. So this first sentence says DNA is composed of 3 strands that form a triple spiral. We know that's not true. So I would rewrite their answer and it would say DNA is composed of 2 strands that form a double helix. Now you could say double helix, you could say twisted ladder, you could say double spiral. Any of that would be fine as long as you show that it's basically double. So again, down here, you are going to rewrite this paragraph. Easiest way to do it is to copy and paste and just like change things so that it will be a correct answer. All right. So that is how you are going to go about completing this assignment. I hope this walkthrough has helped. And if you have any questions, obviously, feel free to ask.